Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be talking about what to prepare for in New Genesis, mainly because Anamana and Chrono Catastrophe both made a video covering what they're planning to do. I only felt it was right to talk about what I'm planning to do because I'm probably the most casual player out of all the content creators. And to be frank, my plan is to do almost absolutely nothing. But before I elaborate, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily, so if you do play this game, I'd really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the first thing I want to get out of the way is yes, I am going to go into New Genesis as the current character that you see on the screen. This is my character, she's my original character, whatever. You know, she is the one that's going in. I'm not going to create a brand new character in New Genesis. This character's just ported in, easy peasy, whatever she has, like whatever gear she has, if it gets converted into 3-star rarity, 4-star rarity, whatever, I'm just gonna roll with that. I know, like with Anamana, he's got like an entire set for all his different units, like 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, so forth and so on, as well as all his different weapons, mainly because he wants to save time on collecting all those materials. You know, resources will be scarce at the beginning, and this is true with every MMO, right? When we first started PSO2, we didn't have enough lambda grinders, we didn't have enough regular grinders, we never had enough meseta. A lot of people still don't have enough meseta right now, and it's a struggle, right? So obviously if you do plan ahead, your life is going to be a lot easier and the transition will be a lot smoother. But that being said, I personally don't really care because I'm a casual player. If I can't progress that day because I'm time gated or for whatever reason, I'm just not going to play that game and I'm just going to go play a different game. And so for me, it's not a big deal because I'm planning to maintain my regular schedule of maybe I play like 1 to 2 hours of PSO2 a day at most, and that's about it. So even if there was unlimited ore for me to farm, if there was unlimited EXP or grinding areas, I'm not going to grind there that long every day anyway. So the whole time gate issue isn't really applicable to me because I don't rush to the end game. But if you are the type of player that always wants to get to the end game and you want to be the first to get to the end game, then yes, I do recommend that you start planning ahead. And in order to aid you on that, I have a handy dandy spreadsheet over here, which Chrono very kindly shared. Unfortunately, I don't know who the author is, or I want to give credit as well, but I don't know who to give credit to. But you can see over here, weapon potential is very important in New Genesis, okay? So please, please, please look over here, look at all these weapons and their potentials in New Genesis, this row right here, and just see what is good for you. A lot of people said the Ophistia weapon. I think Chrono in his video specifically talks about the Ophistia weapon, and that the photon blast gauge increases by an additional 15% is very, very good because the photon blast does a ton of damage in New Genesis and you kind of want to spam it because it's like your super move, right? You deal a lot of damage with this, and so by having an Ophistia weapon and being able to charge this up a lot faster might be something you want to look at, because it could be used similar to how we use Trailblazer weapons right now to recover our PP. What you could do is like use this to quickly charge up your photon blast gauge, do your super burst, and then switch back to your regular weapon or so forth and so on, and just kind of juggle between your weapons, since these weapons will not cost anything from New Genesis because they're all pre-made, fully affixed, all that jazz in base PSO2. Now, I personally am not going to go out of my way to fully augment my Ophistia weapon. I have an Ophistia weapon from way back in the day when these weapons were alright. You know, they were the bee's knees, as they would say, right? I used to use an Ophistia weapon. Then the Trailblazer weapons and the Rivalate weapons and all that stuff came out, and then I switched over to those. And eventually I went up to the Klaus weapons. But you know, I still have all of my old weapons, so I'm just going to be using them as like spares in order to benefit from this, but I wouldn't go out of my way to make any of these weapons unless you really want to. You know, as I said before, if you are the type of player that really cares about min-maxing and really wants to be one of the first players to hit max level and experience the hardest content in the game ASAP, then yes, you know, you could start preparing because, you know, what else are you going to be doing on base PSO2 right now anyway, right? So the next thing that you could look at is, of course, the augments. Over here, very nicely broken down, is what all the current augments in base PSO2 will transfer into in New Genesis, as well as all the little stats over here. So the stat breakdown, which makes it very, very easy to read and to understand. So you can look over here and just kind of see, oh, what augment should I put onto my weapon to make the most ideal starter set or whatever you want in New Genesis. All right. There's also the PSO2 commie codes over here, which is very nice. There's 20 codes total. I do believe I have a video out there somewhere, but this is a nice place to just see it because it's all condensed, super easy to copy pasta, because the way of how you copy pasta is like, you know, you can only input 4 letters. You can't copy like the entire code and paste it. It's kind of silly, but it is what it is. And last but not least, I really like this page right here, and I resonate with this sentence so much. These are all here because I'm a dumbass and I forget things. Whoever wrote this thinks like me, and I 100% agree because I too am a dumbass and I forget things. So, things that transfer over to New Genesis, boom, all here, alright? These will all transfer to New Genesis. Things that do not transfer to New Genesis, boom, here, alright? So, please, just look over here. This answers all of your questions, hopefully most of your questions, better be all your questions, and you'll be good to go. Now, some of you guys are asking, Caro, you're a content creator. Why don't you care about min-maxing? Why don't you care about rushing to the end game? Why don't you blah, 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 blah? Shush. I don't care. The reason for this is simply because I'm going to be taking my time on New Genesis. I don't want to be done in 1 week, 2 weeks to find out that I have to wait 3 months for the next big content update. That's stupid, right? Why rush content and try to min-max everything and not, quote-unquote, fully enjoy the game? For me, the way that I enjoy the game is I take my time, I play 1 to 2 hours a day, I experience everything, and I just have fun, right? I play at my own pace. So if you are having fun by rushing through the game, then by all means do so. I think Koeg or Mark, that's how he has fun, right? The way his definition of fun is like finding the most challenging content and challenging himself. I think that's also how Chrono has fun too. But for me, I'm the opposite. I want to take my time. I want to be super duper over geared to the point that there is no challenging content. I want to just breeze through everything and like one tap everything, right? That's how I like to have fun. I like to do my preparation phase in a game is like 3 weeks instead of like 3 days, because I want to be over geared, I want to be overpowered, I want to be over leveled, and so by the time I get to quote unquote challenging content, I can overpower it with my monkey brain strategies, right? And so for me, New Genesis, I'm going to be taking it super slow. I know a lot of people want to just blast through all the content and get to the end game to see what the end game is, because that's how they have fun. And for players like that, that's great. You do you, I do me. You know, I'm just going to take my time, chill, enjoy the game, because there's one thing that I'm very scared of right now. And the one thing that I'm scared of is lack of content, right? That's the number one thing I am most terrified about. It's like, we blast through the game, we have like 1 week of super fun, and then it's like, what now? There's no more content. And then we're so wired to the way, or the content release of like every 2 weeks of like our global accelerated pace, that if, and this is a big if, New Genesis follows the JP release schedule of like, you know, one big content patch every month, every 2 months, then we're gonna be sitting around with a whole lot of nothing to do, right? And that's why I'm planning to take my time, because the content's not going anywhere, they're not running anywhere. Sure, there may be events and campaigns, obviously I will focus on those when they first come out, but as for the story content, as for like the leveling up, exploring new zones, stuff like that, I'm gonna be playing at my own pace. and I highly recommend you guys to do so as well. If you guys are super speedrunners, you know, do that, because that's how you have fun. If you guys are slow sloths like me and like to explore every nook and cranny and like to find really dumb Easter eggs, then you can do that as well. Alright? All I want you guys to do is to have fun. It's a freaking video game. If you're not having fun playing a video game, I don't know why you're playing a video game. Alright? Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it useful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the rest.